guys, so I just get into it. So this is a project that we did for a fintech brand, and I'll just like run you through the case study that we have here. So I think the first media that we have here is the logo animation, and which we will come back to explain very soon. Looks very simple, but like you get the idea very soon. So Redtech is at the is at the forefront of creating intuitive ways to pay and transact using digital technologies. They see the distinction between like the traditional channels and the customer touch point. And the customer touch points like bank branches, ATM, etc. The fact that they actually gradually fading away and all that. And RedTech is sort of yet to like, bridge that gap and like, make it much more easier and intuitive to what's it called for the target audience. So here we have one of the visuals of like the logo. We're actually going to get to the point where you get to understand the idea behind the logo itself. We have the core values, which is diet, which is drive, innovation, excellence, and teamwork. The vision, which is to be the most innovative fintech company in Africa. Purpose statement, which is to empower individuals and businesses through innovative solution across the continent. They're trying to position themselves as innovative, accessible, and customer centric. Now we have like what's it called various visuals of like red tech here, and then so I'm coming trying to get to this. So the concept of the logo idea is quite simple. The name itself is Redtech, and if you look at it this way, for a brand that is really all about like innovation, trust, reliability, and quite like some many other words, you really want to be able to portray this in the identity that you're actually going to be creating for them. The logo looks as simple as like her, but the idea behind it is like a little bit quite deep, and it's something that aligns with the brand. So what we are looking at here is a letter R that is being carved from the square shape. Now, when it comes to shapes, we have what we call psychology of shapes. Many times, brand designers they tend to use them, but especially in the branding world, this is a this is a very popular theory that we tend to use a lot due to how studies and even how we've seen people being what's it called affected by the shapes and how it makes them feel. Now, in the case of a square, squares are a set of shape or is actually a shape that is used to communicate structure, balance, and reliability, which are actually values that are critical to like the payment and infrastructure company like Redtech. So what we did was we thought about how we could reform the idea of the shape and like use it to bring out something much more unique and iconic for popular brands or for popular institutions that tend to use the shape. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, GT Bank, I think Chase Bank, I can't remember, but we have like many of those brands who tend to use them due to the fact that they are trying to pass across that they are very concerned about like the trust and reliability that people have from them. So what we did is the fact that R is like the dominant letter from the brand name Redtech, we decided to make that the euro element, and what we did was carve out the letter R from the square shape. So by doing that, we have something very unique and very different from the usual stuff. It's something that you could know that okay, yeah, this is almost like a brand that's starting from the scratch, and they're actually like very intentional around like what they are doing. Now, back to the logo animation that we have here, then you are going to see that okay, this is literally like what the story is telling. So by looking at this logo animation, you see that we have this part of the logo kind of like coming out like in a kind of repetitive manner. And what we are trying to communicate here is the idea of growth that RedTech is really all about. The fact that RedTech is concerned about the growth of their customer as well as that of themselves and like and their businesses, whether B2B, B2C. So we try to use that particular elements in the logo to communicate that as well as also show the name, and that is simply the idea around the logo animation. Then we'll move further to see the 3D icon of the logo itself, how well it is being used here. This is a much more visible one. And now what we've also done is we've tried to create a visual language from the logo itself. So rather than maybe having some random shapes or so, what we've done is by this angular item that we have here, by this angular element that we have here, we've created a block system from that, inspired by that. And now with these shapes that we have here, you can actually see that each of them have some kind of cause, which could be related to like the seam and all that. But all of this is being inspired by the chords in the Redtech logo, and that went on to be shown in all the visuals that are being used in this what's it called, in this element, as you can see here. As also here we have a few visuals of what's it called, the box for maybe giving out gifts to employees or influencers, the cap, the tote bag for like it's like the merch design, a sticker for what's it called, maybe when they go for events and then they need like share sticker as a form of marketing. Yeah, we have like a billboard design, the UD, a shopping bag sort of, and like what's it called, a credit card, because these are like stuffs that they are going to what's it called, that they're actually going to be using majority of the time. So there we, I mean, this is just like the logo in a much more in a much more bigger view. We get to see this as well. And here we get to like see the color shade. So the color shade that we have here is going to be the major ones that the brand will be using, which is like the red and white. We have the gray to sort of assist more like an accent color, and then we have the rest of this color to be used when it comes to illustration, what's it called, images, color, icons, and what's it called, like the likes of sources button, alarms, and stuff like that when it comes to UI designs. Then moving forward, we have yeah, just showing like the node points and the crafted name and the logo itself. Yeah, we just have the logo shown on different color variants. This was the particular font chosen for it, Space Graphics. Yeah, just like get to see that as well. Yeah, so we created a set of 3D visuals to be able to help us feel how the logo really looks like as well. And that is like what we have here. And yeah, then we also tend to, I mean, we also like explore the idea of a stationery. So in the stationery, we want to be able to have touch points or systems that are connected to each other. Now apart from the course that happens, that is actually being inspired by the logo itself, we've also been able to create a set of like visual patterns or background, some from boxes like square shapes and cube, some from the logo itself, and these are stuff that we end up using across all touch points for the brand. Yeah, we get to see what's it called, the email signature, the favicon, a 3D structure of the logo itself. Here we get to see the letterhead design for the logo, something simple. And then here we get to see how modular the identity itself is, like how we've been able to create something from that element into something that can expand and take up as many stuff as we want it to take it. So it could work as a block that could take text, pictures, and quite many other stuff. So here we get to see some samples of social media visuals that are also like being used as well when it comes to marketing or what's it called, promoting of values or teaching the audience about the business itself. So we get to see some of the visuals and we can see how consistent the slits, yeah, let's call it slit or cut, that we have here. We can see how consistent it is across all the design. So for some, we tend to use a much more expanded version of the logo, and for most, we tend to use the square shape with the cut. We can also see how it is being used here as well for like text and icon order. Yeah. Then we also get to also, yeah, here we get to see how we can like express it further with image placeholders and text as well. Then here we get to see it on the tote bag. So like I said we have the box visual pattern and like quite the that as well. And what we've done is because we want a set of flexibility. I mean, if we're having a modular system, we also want a system where the designs are also a little bit flexible and not like super rigid. So we've tried to create like a variety of patterns and elements that could work with it. And for one of them is this perspective box that we have here. So this is like a shot of a box or cube. Yeah, a shot like a photo shoot of a box or cube taken from the back angle. Yeah, sort of thing. So this is like an illustration of that. Here we get to see the cap, and then here we get to like see how one of the pattern just animated. Moving forward, we get to see one of the visitor card for for internal use, and then also when it comes to this, we wanted to do something different around the merch design, the t-shirt and all. We don't want the usual having your brand name on top of the chest of your shirt. We wanted something different, something that could have the pattern and the logo it's on it in a very creative manner, and that is what we were able to do. Yeah. Yeah, these are just like more visuals, more visual. And also, we wanted something intentional because the fact that the brand is customer centric, we want the messages to feel that way. And for that, we made use of context or copies that seems very intentional, that actually very intentional, that people would understand. So by having a box that says a gift as unique as you, definitely the customers or the users will understand like, oh yeah, this is actually a box for me, with the whole nice design and everything going on. Then we also just like from another angle of how the box looks like. Here we have a sample of like the credit card design, because it's fintech. Here we also have another sample of that as well. I mean, for under like merchandise and stuff, we have this bottle, and like I said, we designed this stuff with the fact that we want it to be as intentional as possible, and then we want people to see messages that will make them feel like, yeah, these people are concerned about me. And that is why for the bottle, apart from having the logo alone, we have content like still cool, drink pure. And yeah, so this is like stuff that we'll be seeing more. We have the toast bag design, really simple, not too much going on. Then one of the other expressions that we designed is a sort of batch system. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll call it batch system. Yeah, but it's in a way that we want to be able to express the logo beyond just having the icon and the name by itself. We want to be able to do more stuff with it, and that is how we're able to come up with this artistic expression of the logo and its tagline, which is the future of payment solutions, where we have Redtech, and then this in a kind of like block format. Yeah, as what's it called, like text to part over around the circle, and then the logo in the middle. So this could serve as stickers on t-shirts, laptops, bags, and quite many other things. Yeah, we get to see some samples of that. For bag, we get to see some samples of how that would look like. Phone case cover, billboard design. So we experienced what's it called? We experienced how some of that will feel when it comes to making billboard design, because we want our clients to see these things. We want them to be able to feel it and understand. Just more visuals, more visuals, more visuals. So it's quite. I mean, the what we came up with is definitely more than what we are showing here. But we want you to actually like to also be able to experience this in the tiny way that you can. Because I mean, this is like months of work that we just try to like put together into a presentation for you to be able to experience and understand the idea behind which. We also have a video at the end that we came up with, like really show the things better. And I mean, you can easily just like come over to BM's. I'm going to be adding the link to the project in the description, so it's something you could also check and experience at your own time as well. And yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.